The Lord is my shepherd. 6 words, but they carry the weight of heaven. They echo through hospital rooms. They whisper over gravesides. They settle restless hearts on sleepless nights. David didn't say the Lord was a shepherd. He said, my shepherd. It's personal.
It's intimate. It's a declaration of trust.
He doesn't say, I'll never lack trouble. He says, I shall not want.
Because the shepherd provides not always what we expect,
but always what we need. I remember visiting a family who had just lost their home in a fire. They sat in the ashes with tears in their eyes.
but not despair.
Why? They said, God is still with us. We still have everything that matters.
That's Psalm 23.
Security in the middle of smoke and rubble. He makes me lie down in green pastures.
That sounds peaceful.
But sheep don't lie down easily.
They're anxious.
They're skittish. They need 4 things to rest: freedom from fear, tension, flies, and hunger. Sound familiar? We can't rest when fear stalks our minds. We can't lie down when conflict burns. We can't be still when problems buzz like flies. But the shepherd knows this. So he makes us lie down. Sometimes he stops us, slows us, interrupts our pace.
Because rest is not weakness.
It's trust. He leads me beside the still waters. Still waters restore.
They calm.
They quench. But sheep won't drink from rushing streams. They need stillness.
Safe water.
That's what God does for our souls. He leads us to places where we can drink deeply. Not just survive, but to be refreshed.
I knew a woman who went through stage 4 cancer.
She said the strangest thing.
I've never felt closer to Jesus than I do now. How?
Because the shepherd led her to still waters. In the middle of pain, he didn't remove the valley, but he gave peace. He restores my soul. That's not just a feeling. It's a deep healing. He puts back what the world has broken. Restoration doesn't mean returning to how things were. It means becoming whole again.
Some of you have felt shattered, abandoned, worn out.
But your shepherd restores. He mends. He renews. He makes beauty from ashes. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. God's leadership is not random. He guides with purpose. He leads not just for our good, but for his glory. That means you're not wandering,
Even when it feels like it.
even when the path looks unfamiliar. There's a shepherd leading, and his path is always right, even if it takes you through the dark. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, that verse has comforted generations.
Funerals.
Battlefields,
hospital beds.
Why? Because it acknowledges the darkness, but it doesn't end there. It says through the valley, not stuck in it, not forgotten in it, but walking through it. There is an exit, a purpose, a shepherd walking with you. Fear doesn't have the final word. Why?
Because you are with me.
Presence is the antidote to fear. Not answers.
Not explanations, presence.
When my daughter was little and had nightmares,
I didn't give her a theology lecture. I sat beside her, held her hand, and she calmed down.
why?
Because her father was near.
You are not alone. The shepherd doesn't send you into the valley. He walks with you in it. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The rod defends. The staff guides. Both are tools of love. Discipline and direction. Protection and correction. Sometimes the shepherd uses the rod to chase away danger. Sometimes he uses the staff to pull you back from the edge. Both are acts of love. He's not distant. He's attentive. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. God doesn't wait until the battle is over to bless you. He sets a table right in the middle of it.
Imagine that. Enemies around.
Threats nearby. And God sets out bread and wine. He anoints your head with oil. He fills your cup to overflowing.
You're not just surviving.
You're overflowing. You're flourishing where you should be falling apart.
That's the power of His presence.
That's the shepherd's provision. I remember a pastor who lost his church building in a fire. Then the pandemic hit. Everything seemed to collapse. But he said, "This has become my most fruitful season of ministry." Why? Because God prepares a table where we least expect it. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
That's not a maybe.
That's a surely.
Goodness doesn't always mean comfort. Mercy doesn't always mean escape.
But the both are always present.
Following you, chasing you, everywhere you go.
You may not see them until you look back.
But they've been there. Every step.
And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. This is the destination. The end of the journey. Not just a church building. Not a place of rules. But the presence of the shepherd. Forever. No more valleys.
No more shadows. Only light. Only joy. Only the eternal home we've longed for.
Psalm 23 isn't just for funerals.
It's for life.
For Monday mornings. For long commutes. For hospital waiting rooms. For seasons of doubt. For empty bank accounts. For breakups. For breakthroughs. The Lord is your shepherd. You lack nothing. So walk on through the pastures and the valleys, through still waters and stormy nights.
because you are not alone.
The shepherd is near.
Let me tell you a story.
A friend of mine was a missionary in a war-torn region. He often heard gunfire at night.
He saw destruction by day.
But every morning he read Psalm 23 out loud. He said it grounded him. It reminded him that the shepherd's voice was louder than the noise of war. It gave him courage to keep going.
That's the power of this psalm.
It's not fragile comfort,
It's fierce peace.
bold peace.
Peace that stares fear in the face and says, "You don't win." Another woman I know went through a divorce after 30 years of marriage.
She felt lost,
Alone.
like her identity had been stripped away. But she told me Psalm 23 saved me. She would read it and cry.
She said, "I wasn't just abandoned, I was being led." That's what God does. He leads even when life breaks,
Especially when life breaks.
because He's the shepherd.
And a good shepherd never loses a sheep. He knows your name. He knows your wounds. He knows your pace.
And He matches it.
You don't have to run to keep up. You just have to follow. Even if you limp,
Even if you're tired,
even if you're unsure,
He leads you constantly.